We're doing this a bit backwards. It's actually the end of the day. We're about to pack up and go home. I've already driven the car. My hair's a mess. I'm a bit sweaty. I've got a little bit of a tingle on. I'm sort of shaking a little bit. This car has left me in a bit of a weird state. So next thing is to tell you about all the technical aspects of this car, what makes a 765LT different to a 720S, and then you'll see all the anticipation building, me getting all nervous, excited, and then we'll go out on track and you'll get to see why this car has left me fizzing away the way I am. Whew.
To the now familiar 720S, McLaren has applied the same methodology that turned the 650S into the 675LT and the 570S into the 600LT. That means the 765LT is lighter than the 720S by as much as 80 kilograms. There's a titanium exhaust system, more carbon fibre throughout, motorsport style polycarbonate glazing rather than glass, and, unless you spec them back in, no air conditioning or stereo. The 4-litre twin-turbo V8 develops 765 horsepower and 590 pounds-foot of torque. The car will hit 62 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds and 124 in 7.2. The top speed is 205 miles per hour. The engine features LT-specific pistons and a more robust triple-layer head gasket to cope with the extra turbo boost pressure. Shorter gearing and LT first means you're in the fullness of the power band more often. These optional upgraded brakes are borrowed from the Senna hypercar, while the Pirelli Trofeo R tyres are bespoke. At the front, the ride height is lower by 5mm and the track width increased by 6mm. The rear end is unchanged. The car sits on stiffer springs and dampers all round. With the new aero package, the 765LT generates 25% more downforce than the 720S. Within the cabin you find carbon fibre seats, harnesses and more Spartan trim. McLaren tells me this is the most hardcore LT model yet. It will be limited to 765 examples, each one costing from £280,000.
There are certain designated areas here at Silverstone where I don't have to wear a mask, but while I'm hanging around in the garage or in the car, I have to have my nose and mouth covered, which is fair enough. So today we're using the international circuit. That's not the full Grand Prix track, it's a bit shorter. And so we're starting off here in the wing, the pit straight, and the first corner is Abbey, and that's flat. And then you go through Farm and Village, and they're flat. And then the Loop and Chapel are flat. And then Stowe, that's easy flat. And then the Vale is flat, and Club is flat. And across the line. Simple. I realise I've got the wrong t-shirt on today. We're not at Spa, we're at Silverstone. My t-shirt should say Maggots, Beckett's, Cox and Stowe. Wow, that was quite exciting. One small moment.
Really?
Woo! Wanted to see what the ESC dynamic was like, and it's like it's off. So wait until you see that, that's quite exciting. Now then, rumbling out the pit lane. I've got a handful of laps to tell you what this McLaren 765LT is really like to drive on circuit. It's a little bit brighter, a little bit drier than it was for my first session, so we've got the Trofeo R tyre on. Should have more grip. I reckon they'll want a lap or two just to come to temperature. So I'm starting off in sport mode for the powertrain and for the chassis, just for the time being though. Oh, instantly the grip. The acceleration down onto the hanger straight is unbelievable. I don't know why I'm surprised by that. Massive braking performance. The Senna brakes on this car, they're so strong, frankly, I'm getting nowhere near their ultimate performance, you really have to kick the brake pedal with all your strength. I'm not there yet. So fast through these quick corners. Yeah, you instantly feel the extra grip of these Trofeo R's. It's planted. There's no body roll. The steering precision is off the dial. McLaren always steer well. Most of all these LTs, you just don't think about it. It's instinctive. The way it pulls through 4th and 5th, wow. If you're really on it, at the end of the hanger straight, it'll do the best part of 180. 180. This is a road car. Okay. Got a bit of temperature in the tyres now. We'll flick it into track mode. We'll leave the ESC where it is just for another couple of laps, and then we'll start peeling it back. The speed you can carry in to these quick corners is phenomenal. The amazing thing about this car is it's so sharp. Sharpness everywhere. Throttle, sharp. Steering, sharp. Handling response, sharp. But right at the limit, when you start pushing it really quickly into corners, it's soft. It doesn't snap. When it moves into understeer, it just bleeds into understeer. I've not felt it tried to get out of line, tried to snap on me into oversteer yet. I'm not trying hard enough, obviously. But it's that blend of response, precision, sharpness, and then those softer, fluffier edges right at the limit of grip that just let you play with the car right at the limit of what it's capable of. How does it compare to a 720S? Response. The noise in the cabin. It feels faster. It's lighter, it's more power, it would do. Right. Let's just nibble the ESC away one. Track mode. See what we find. I wasn't expecting that. Jesus, so it's... Okay, that's what we find. Demonstrates how much work the ESC system is doing when it's left on. I suspect with those systems fully off, it's going to be a bit of a handful, this thing. But then maybe a near 800 horsepower mid-engine supercar should be. The way it punches through 3rd gear, 4th gear. That's unbelievable. 170 into there. The speed you can carry into the really fast stuff on these Trofeo R tyres in particular. Wow, you do have to be brave. And the brakes, I've done a few laps now, I've done my best with them and they're still strong. Yeah, this thing. Do you know what? It would take me a long, long time to get near the limit of this car can do. But even so, it's exciting, it's thrilling, it's absorbing for me. Stick someone behind the wheel who really knows what they're doing. Wow.
The 765LT is a sensational machine, but as I found out, a handful at the limit too. There's no question, systems off, you need to be alert. So what actually happened? I put the stability control into its dynamic setting, expecting it to cut in when things got big, but it never did. I just wasn't anticipating that degree of freedom in dynamic mode. Frankly, the ESC might as well have been off altogether. Apparently you can do big smoky drifts in ESC dynamic, but I only found that out after I drove the car. Maybe it's inevitable that a near 800 horsepower rear-wheel drive supercar is a handful, but it doesn't need to be that way. The Ferrari 488 Pista is a pussycat on the limit of grip, and McLaren's own P1 was the easiest thing to drift about in. I remember doing exactly that at Anglesey Circuit a few years ago. The new 765LT is a fearsome car. It's hugely exciting, massively capable, and it has blinding performance on track. But it's also got jaws, and in those jaws it has big, sharp, jagged teeth. Thanks for watching this PistonHeads video. Not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel? Go on, tap that subscribe button.